Hello, and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. On this episode, we're going to run silent, run deep, as the old movie says, doing silent victory, sticking with my Pacific Theater of Operations wave, if you will, no pun intended. And this is from the Consimpress. Consimpress is the publisher. It came out, I think, a few years ago. It came out after The Hunters. This basically is the Pacific Theater of this version of this game. This is one of those narrative games. So if you've played B-17 Queen of the Skies or Target for Today, one of those kind of games, this is that type of game. I decided to use this as a filler. I'm trying to decide what to do because Cataclysm is supposed to be here Monday, but it probably won't be here till Monday night. So right now I think I'm going to do some patrols here and then maybe do D-Day at Tarawa, which I may or may not share. I haven't decided yet. But right now, I figured I'd give you overview of this just in case you're interested. This is my third patrol with this particular sub, and I wish I had done the last patrol because the last patrol was extremely exciting. The last patrol was kind of crazy. Got assigned to the Solomon Islands, went after some freighters, got some hits but didn't sink anything, unfortunately, and then had an escort that was just relentless. We took 7 shots on our sub, including a bunch of hull hits, but persevered and actually ran into, on our last part of the patrol, the battleship Yamato and almost sunk it. We came just a few hits away from actually sinking that bad boy, so that was rather exciting. But let's see what this patrol is going to yield. So again, just kind of immersive here. We'll jump right in, and away we go. Now, first things first, let's take a look over here at our sub. This is a Gato class sub, and after all those hits and stuff I took, we're going back out to sea here in November of 1942. So we've only had 2 patrols the whole way of 1942. I had one in April so far and one in July. This one's going to be in November. Now, as you can see here, there's lots of stuff here with my sub. We've got, I need to reload my torpedoes. I forgot to do that, so I'll talk about and describe things here as I reload them. At the end of each patrol, you've got to get everything ready to go out to sea again. So you've got your torpedoes there. You can see you've got your charts covering your hull hits and your flooding. I had both of those last time. You've also got your deck gun. If you find that lone ship running by itself, you can get out there on the surface and try to bring it down with the gun instead of the torpedoes, because if you know anything about the Pacific Theater here with the U.S. Navy, at the beginning of the war, they had major issues with the torpedoes. The torpedoes were just not working very well at all. Right. And you've got both sides here. You got your forward torpedo tubes on this side. You got your aft ones over here. And then, of course, down here also, you got all your information, all the different parts of your sub. You got all the things like the batteries and different places that can get damaged. You've also got your crew that you'll be concerned with. And in the middle here, you've got your chart that follows wherever you are heading on a particular patrol. Now, my sub, done randomly by a die roll, is based out of Australia. So far we've had 2 patrols, a Java Sea, which actually, the Java Sea one was almost a dud too, and then we came across this lone ammunition ship, 10,400 tons all by itself, and kaboom, so to speak. Okay, Solomon's, again, we hit some ships, but we didn't actually sink anything, so and that doesn't count as far as this game goes for scoring and victory and stuff, because close only counts, as everybody knows, in horseshoes, hand grenades, and tactical nuclear warfare. So, let's go through the steps here, and you'll notice, perhaps, when you look at the shot here, I've got a lot of different dice, because I like to use different dice for different things. Over here I've got a bunch of different dice too. You'll need 10-sided dice as well as 6-sided dice, by the way, to play this game. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is find out where in the world are we going. And that's where you get your patrol assignment chart here. Now right now I'm in this column, the July through December 1942. So we're going to roll 2 dice and find out where our patrol is going. And it's a 5. So 5 is going to take me to, you know what, that's taking me to a mission thing. I'm going to re-roll because I don't want to do a mission one here. That's kind of a different sort of thing here, and I'd rather do a typical patrol. There's other things you can do, like deliveries and missions and things like that. So this second time we rolled a 6. So a 6 for that one there. We're headed back to the Solomon Islands. Okay? So, and there are, and I don't use these myself, but I mean you can. There's plenty of a pad here and stuff. But there's record keeping again. This is very much like B-17 or Target for Today, one of those games. Lots of record keeping to here. I just usually do it with my own columns on a notebook paper because I'm not into getting super specific. So yeah, it's just not my speed. It's not my style. So that's patrol. That's where we're going to end up at. Now, I'll put my boat here, and we'll start out. And let me zoom in here to show you here what we're looking at. What are we going to do as we head to the Solomons? So when you do this, starting over here, you've got different boxes that you patrol through. You can see there's some transit boxes there heading for the area from Australia. Then you got a bunch of ones that name Solomons. There's one here with the Solomons ×2. You're going to roll twice for that space to see if you have any encounters. And then eventually you'll come back over here, going back to transit boxes to end things up. Okay. Now transit boxes, basically what you're looking at there is you're going to run into more than likely an air attack, perhaps a random event too. So let's go ahead and let's get started, and we'll head out into the waters and let's see what we get. And we roll a 6. So 6 doesn't do anything on the transit, so we continue on the transit. And the next transit box, it's a 9, but a 9 again doesn't do anything there either. So let's head here into the Solomons. Now this is where things get a little different. As you can see here on the card, over here, this last column, that's the Solomons, and we're going to be rolling to see what we run into in dealing with our patrol. So the first one, we roll a 4. Oh, and we run into a warship. Okay, warship is big, obviously, because if we could sink a major warship, and if you know anything about the Pacific Theater, both sides did that. You know, we lost the Wasp to a torpedo attack. The Saratoga was knocked out by a torpedo attack on more than one occasion, if I remember correctly. So, warships, and again, when you roll down here, you've got all this information here. You just read what it says. It says, warship, I roll for the warship ID. The ship's considered escorted and cannot be followed due to its speed. What that means about following is that if you run into convoys and things, after you attack them, you do have the chance, if you want to try and press your luck, so to speak, you can go ahead and try to follow them. So, let's go through the combat procedure now, which is going to be over here on this mat. So we're going to move over here just a little bit. And again, you know, this being one of those narrative games, there's lots of charts, and it's pretty straightforward and easy. Once you get the hang of the system, it's not very hard at all. So first thing we've got to find out here, before we find out the idea of this ship, is this a day or a night action? Oh, it's a night action. So why is that good? Because you can take a few more risks if you want on the night action. It is escorted, so we put the escort marker there to remind us of that fact. Now comes the big reveal. What warship did we find? Now for a warship in this game, excuse me, warships, of course, naturally you're talking about destroyers, cruisers, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we got to find out exactly what kind of ship are we going to encounter here. And there's different charts for different things as well too. So again, here's the warship roster. So we're going to find out what kind of warship we run into. It's not a capital ship. Capital ship would be really exciting if we ran into that. So this is a decimal chart. So we roll 2 dice and we read it. I always do the the colored die first, so that's 45. So 45 down here on the warship roster, we've run into, what? That's it? 1,000 tons? A destroyer? Really? Okay, well, the good news about that is, of course, when it comes to awards and things like that, sinking a warship does give you a lot of prestige, even if it's a very small warship, like a destroyer. Which could, of course, make things a little trickier here in a moment. So let me find here with the warships, because the counters all have their own. Here we go. Their own things on them here. And the counters basically for the ships give you what the ship is and also how many damage points you need to sink it. So we'll put that in there as target 1 because it's the only target that's there. Now, of course, if I want to, I could just walk away from this. And honestly, if I was just playing a regular game trying to do very well, I might do that because the idea of dealing with an escorted destroyer seems like a little risky, especially since it's only 1,000 tons. I mean, that's, you know, that's not much at all, man. I was hoping for something bigger. You know, a nice big cruiser or something like that, but I got a destroyer. Alright. Sorry, enough of me complaining there. So let's go ahead and let's prepare to engage this destroyer. So now the next thing I have to do is figure out from these boxes here, what range do I want to do? I can come in on close range. Close range, of course, means you got a better chance of hitting, but it also means that the escort, I guess destroyer has another destroyer, I don't know. But anyway, the escort could go ahead and have a shot at detecting you before you fire your torpedoes. And of course, medium range and long range is a little safer, but of course at the same time, less chance to possibly hit. So I'm going to go with medium range, because what I can do here with my sub is I can go ahead and fire a full allotment of torpedoes from either the forward, or over here on this side, the aft part, and I'm going to fire from the forward part because you don't usually run into a whole lot of ships when you're out on patrol, so I'll go ahead and fire off 6 torpedoes. And plus the fact that we're still at that time period where you really have to be concerned with duds, because yeah, the duds are just, yeah, that's nasty business at this point in time in the war. Let me just check and see here, because this is still, I mean, yeah, it's a little better now. It's a 1 through 3, but you're still talking about 50-50 chance that you're going to hit anything and nothing's going to happen. So again, you just look up charts here, because again, this is very much a narrative game, and this here gives you all the different modifiers here. For this one here, I'm going to stay submerged because it is a destroyer. Okay, and then you have different things for your crews and stuff like that. Basically, I'll have a +1 because it is a warship with an escort, or so. And I'm going medium range, so I need 7 or less to hit. So let's see here. Full complement of 6 torpedoes. Fire torpedo 1. Hey, it's a 5. That's 1 hit we've registered. Potentially. You got to see if the warhead's a dud or not. Fire torpedo 2. Hey, hey, hey. I've got some luck on this one. There's another one. Of course, I got this, and it's only 1,000 tons. Okay, never mind. Fire torpedo 3. Oh, that one missed. That one missed big time. That was a 10. Fire torpedo 4. Another miss. That was a 7. And last but not... Oh, no, wait. Fire torpedo 5. That one is a 6. +1 is a 7. So that is a 3rd hit. And then the final torpedo, number 6. It also missed 2. Okay? So I've got these hits. And again, I like to use my dice to mark things and stuff, because if you have the extra dice, why not do it? I have a couple hundred dice altogether here. So now I got to check to see, and I use these dice for this purpose. Let's see if all these warheads, if any of them hit. So we're rolling for these 6 shots. See if we get any duds. And a 1 through 3 is a dud. Ah, look at that. We rolled a 1, a 2, and a 4. So only one of them is actually going to hit. Great. Now, we got to hope we get a solid enough hit to sink this bad boy. And of course, then we look down here at the attack chart. So for 2 damage, that's what I'm after here. I got to roll a 3 or less if I want to sink this bad boy. So here we go. And I roll a 4. It's only 1 point of damage. Now, that's really bad because with warships, you only get 1 shot. They're too quick. There's too much of an escort. And speaking of escorts, we're about to run into some trouble here because here they come. Okay. And again, you have the escort detection chart. So basically we're trying to make sure that the Japanese don't get 9 or higher. And there's a whole boatload of modifiers here. I'm just going to go over the ones that apply here. And basically, I don't think any of them apply. Nope, because it's not daytime. We weren't previously detected. So all we need is to make sure that they get 8 or less. And of course they roll 10. Oh, lucky us. So now, with the 10, we got to find out how many hits they get on the sub. Oh, it's another 10. Yikes. How many hits is that? Let's check the chart, shall we? So here we go. So again, it's 41 to 43. 2 hits is what they get on us. Okay, and the hits are a decimal system also. You can see here, well, not a decimal system, but a 2-digit system. One die right after the other, and we've got all this damage. So let's find out exactly what happened here. And again, I just have, to make things easy, I have dice that do their own job, because then I don't have to keep track all the time with charts and things like that. I can just take the dice out. So the first damage is a 41. The second damage on our sub is a 23. So let's look at the chart here. Let's see what we got. 41 is right there. It's a hull hit. So we're going to come over here to our sub, and we're going to take a shot in the hull. So, shot to the hull! Oh, nope, sorry, that's something else. Yeah, if you don't know what that is, look it up. 23. Oh, it's diesel engine number 1. So now we're going to come over here, and we have to put a damage marker on one of our diesel engines. So we got this marker here. It is damaged, and we come over here to our chart, and one of our diesel engines is now damaged. And of course, as things get damaged, that increases modifiers as far as the escorts being able to find you and whether you can maneuver and all that jazz and stuff. Okay? So if the escorts manage to find you, then they get to keep coming around. If you've seen Das Boot, you know what that's like. When the destroyers keep coming back and around and around and around. So, let's see if we got any modifiers out of that right now. Let's see. Previously detected, so +1. We will get that. And there's also a capital ship warship escort. I missed that the first time. But we got found anyway because it was a 10. So we're going to get +2 on this. Yikes. Now, one thing I can do, if I want, you see here at the bottom, I can exceed the test depth. Or again, to quote Das Boot, take her deeper, Chief. I can go ahead and do that. I'm not going to just yet. But I might. Eventually. 7, +2 is 9. I should have done that. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to check again to see on the damage chart anything that's going to hurt us here. Let's see. Well, I don't see anything about diesel engines, so we're good. So it's just a straight up dive. And this time it's a 7. So how many damn hits do we get? 2. 2 hits this time. So here we go again. The IJM accepts the 2s. The first hit is a 56. The second hit is a 65. Okay, that's a little weird. Alright, here we go. Let's check them. 56. 56 is electric motor number 4. So now I've got an electric and a diesel motor that have both been whacked. So that's no good. I think I'm going to have to take myself deeper on this one. 65, I think I know what a 65 is. I'm kind of cringing, even though you can't see me. Yeah, ouch. 65 is one of the most brutal hits to get. That's 2 hits on your hull. So now we're starting to take some serious shots. I gotta be concerned. Okay, so back, here we go again. They're above us, racing around, trying to find us. So this time we'll get +1, +2. That's it. But I'm going to go ahead and deliberately take her deeper. Now what does that mean? That means hull damage increases because you're going down further. So it's going to be +1 this time. Hey, 6 and 1 is 7. So it was worth going down a little deeper. We managed to shake them off. Whew! And now we got to check on damage. See if anything here is permanent. Okay. So again, you got this card here. this side of the card I should say, and we're just going to go through and see what are we dealing with here. Can we get stuff fixed? So let's try and check our electric motor first, our electric engine first. Where is it here? There we go, engines and motors. So 1 through 4 will fix it, 5 through 6 it's whacked. Oh, it's a 5, of course it is. Alright, let's see about our diesel engine. Well, our diesel engine we managed to get fixed. Okay. And as you go through and the ship, ooh, yeah, don't make that mistake. No, no, no. These are boats. They're not ships. There's two different things when it comes to Navy jargon. As your boat takes damage, you could also end up in a situation where you will be able to basically abort the mission. Okay. But here with only having one electric motor out, that's going to be a problem next time that we have a sighting, because it's going to give a modifier to the IJN. So, okay, so our little destroyer hunt did not work out very well. We didn't sink it, and we got hit pretty hard. Got 4 hull hits. Whew. Ouch, that was nasty. Alright, so let's continue on our patrol here. Continuing into the Solomon Islands, let's see if we find anything else this time. So this time we roll a 7 on the Solomons, nobody home. Okay? So now we move into this one. Now again, it says ×2, so that means we're going to roll twice in this space. First roll is an 8. Nope, nothing for an 8 in the Solomons. Okay, the second one is a 7. And again, looking at the chart here on the Solomons, nobody home. Is there anybody out there? That's for you Pink Floyd fans. Okay. So let's keep moving on here. And again, you just keep following these along until you finish your patrol. So the next box, I rolled a 5. Hey, let's see if a 5 does anything. A 5. Let's see here now. I don't think I have my... Yes, I do actually. We're past July of 42, so I have my SJ radar. It is present and working. So I get to reroll. Okay, so second chance. And it's a 7, which we already know is nothing. You got nothing. Oh, we're down to our last box here on the Solomons. Oh no. We're gonna find anything? Come on, dude. An 8. Survey says nothing. Absolutely nothing. And now we're back to the transit boxes. And the transit boxes are 2 and 12. That's basically it. You definitely don't want a 2. The first roll was a 10. Why? Because air attacks are 2s. The second one was a 7. So nobody home. We're back home to port in Australia. So now we come home and we'll go ahead and figure out how long we're going to be refitting. There's 1 month automatically, so December of 42 will be refitting. And up here on the hull damage chart, we reach the one where we have to add 2 extra months for it. Okay, so basically, I'm not going to be able to go out to patrol. Well, let's just figure it out here together. So December of 42, normal refit. January of 43, that's 1 month for the hull. February of 43, another month for the hull. So the next time I can go out is March of 43. That's not good at all. Now at this point here in the post mission, I would go ahead and also, after 3 successful, well 3 successful meaning that you went out and came back missions, I would check on my crew quality, because there's those things to see. Sometimes you get a chance to get upgrades on specific members of your crew. If you look here, let's take a look at this a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. Like you can see down here, you know, you got the executive officer, the chief engineer, okay, third officer, all that kind of stuff. But you know, I'll do all that later. Again, I'm just trying to give you an idea with these videos of how the game plays, whatever the game happens to be. So that was kind of a very low-key patrol. Sometimes, you know, you got more exciting ones, like my previous one was extremely exciting. And who knows what's going to happen as I head out here in March of 43. But all I can say is, if I hadn't found that ammunition ship by itself, I would be the laughing stock of the sub-pens in Australia. But I can brag about that ammo ship. So, just some thoughts about this. My thoughts are straightforward. Basically, if you like narrative games, if you like, again, like B-17 Queen of the Skies, Target for Today, those kind of games. You know, a lot of people say with these narrative games, well, there's not much decision making to make. Well, that's true. But at the same time, as captain of the entire sub, how much decisions are you going to be making? You know, if you're out there and you're, searching for ships and you got to make your choice, we engage, we re-engage, what range are we going to go at? We're going to go up to the surface, we're going to stay submerged. I mean, that's basically the choices you had. I mean, how many more decisions can you make? And as far as them being meaningful goes, they could be very meaningful. You know, if you go ahead and, play it safe and fire from medium or long range, that's good shape. But if you decide to kind of stick your dupa out there in the wind, go in close range, hey, or you're going to try and make some angels, that's a significant decision, which way you're going to go. So that's a meaningful decision in the context of this game. So I'll probably do some more patrols here, because I'm still surviving. I'm hanging in there. I'm not thriving, obviously, because I've only got one ship that's been sunk. My decorations are not very good. You get decorations in this game for all kinds of different stuff. But again, like narrative games, it's a fun game. It's a good filler game, in between heavier games. Because I just finished the Iwo Jima game, which is quite heavy. I'm probably going to play Terror over the weekend, which is another fairly heavy game. But this is just kind of fun. Take a sub out for a spin and try to help win the war in the Pacific. So, this has been Tim Korchnoi for Bare Bones Wargaming. And hopefully my other patrols will go better. I'll give you an update next time before I go ahead and do whatever next video I'm going to do. Which again, I don't know if I'll do the terrible one or I'll just wait till Cataclysm shows up and give you an idea what that plays like solitaire. Because again, I do most of my gaming solo. And this game, by the way, is definitely a solitaire game. So, thanks for watching. See you again next time.